We got more solo leveling glaze? Nah, this is hate this time. I need to be honest, but solo leveling season 2 breaking the internet. Oh boy, time to read some of the vocal minority put a magnifying glass onto the monkeys who just cry about everything.
Hate solo leveling for this exact reason. The glaze is too much for a 5 out of 10 story.
You know, 5 out of 10 story is not... It's a bit too much. I'd say the solo leveling story so far, okay, ignore all the hype, ignore all the fights, just judge the story. What is the story? Gates have opened, monsters come out, hunters have awakened powers, people go and fight monster and beat gate before gate open. And then there's a little bit more stuff happening with the monarch system I think will be explained in the future seasons. If you kind of just like assess the story for that, it is like a 6 point something, it is. But here's the thing, you don't need a deep, complex story. This is simply one parameter that goes into evaluating the entertainment value. More people watch this, not for the story, but due to the simple hype, the aura farming, the absolute insane fights, and the coolest main character, Sung Jin-woo. That's the reason why people glaze this so much. So this person, they're not really wrong. It's just they don't even understand that, hey, like, bro, Vinland Saga levels of story is not the only thing being judged here.
Warning, heavy spoilers for Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 12. Mate, I have got to be honest with you guys. Solo Leveling does not deserve this at all. I looked at the IMDb score, and this episode currently sits at a 9.9 out of 10. And I'm sorry to say, it does not deserve a 9.9 out of 10.
It deserves a 10? I don't think there's much of a difference, a 0.1 difference.
It deserves a 10 out of 10. This episode was absolutely fantastic. It had great art and animation. Sung Jin-woo was going absolutely crazy. I mean, this boy leveled up in the middle of a fight. How much cooler can Sung Jin-woo get? Oh my gosh, I loved how...
Did he level up in the middle of a fight? The skill leveled up. I don't think he leveled up though.
Oh, in the previous episode. Oh my gosh, the Ant King is so scary. Ooh. This man is the Predator hunting down all the humans. The way he was Control-Alt deleting all these characters was just so hard to watch. Team Charlie deserved so much more. Goto deserved more. And the Ant King did not have to do our girl Cha Hyen the dancer that dirty. Is she alive or not? But even though...
Ain't no way he just used the Beyblade. Ain't no way he just made Cha-Hyen into Beyblade with those edits.
The Ant King was in fact the Predator, and all the humans were his prey. Sung Jin-woo came and flipped the script, and he became the Predator, and the Ant King and
he became the Predator. Remember, the anime boys called this first S-rank Predator, Sung Jin-woo with his girlfriends.
Ended up being the prey, running away in fear as Sung Jin-woo was hunting down the Ant King. The episode was absolutely amazing. Go check out my full review for that episode.
Already did.
But let's just talk about how much this episode well and truly broke the internet.
Okay.
The world's largest anime streaming site, Crunchyroll.
Boo! Fuck Crunchyroll.
Went down minutes before the Solo Leveling episode premiered.
Classic.
Fortunately, I was one of the lucky ones who managed to watch the episode without any hiccups on Crunchyroll. But mate, when was the last time Crunchyroll crashed the way it did?
Didn't it literally crash during the Tusk episode?
This took me back to Attack on Titan, the final season part 2, episode 76, when the Shingeki no Kyojin was fighting the plot armor titan. But it wasn't just Crunchyroll that crashed. Many other non-legal websites were crashing as well. Now, I'm a bit mixed on this because, yes, it's really cool seeing Solo Leveling popping off, but I'm not one for watching anime illegally. I do like to support the industry when I can. However,
let me tell you right now, your Crunchyroll subscription is not going into the pockets of the hard-working animators who are getting abused by the fucked up corporate system that exists in the animation industry. Don't for a second, don't for a fucking second think that your money going into Crunchyroll subs, you think you're helping the animation industry? No! Fuck no, it's just going into the pockets of the corporate suits who don't give a shit about anime. It's most likely going to all the Crunchyroll execs, and let's just assume that it somehow went to A1 Pictures. You think that this money is gonna go to the animators, bro? It's going to the producers! The motherfuckers at the top who are the most greedy, the ones that exploit the hard-working labor that actually creates anime. Do never be guilted into thinking that if you watch anime illegally, that you're actively like making the animators' lives worse. Absolutely not. This is a systemic issue that will never be changed. In fact, I would argue that watching anime illegally and trying to basically kill the bottom line as, let's say, websites like Crunchyroll and stuff, would make them change the format to give a better viewing experience for the audience. And also, perhaps, I don't know how the hell, but basically you gotta hit the wallets of the producers at the top. Because I don't give a fuck about money going to the producers. I care about the animators who are getting paid $30 a fucking month for a Blue Lock to work on Blue Lock, for them to get paid. So again, like, there is a complex web of like different like leads, point A to B to C, blah blah blah, that works in this industry, and your money will never go into the pockets of the animators by watching on Crunchyroll.
Wherever I can, but at the same time, I do understand why people would want to watch these animes on these websites, as some people have had issues with Crunchyroll in the past, and with the price increases, the lack of good content, some people would think to themselves, why would I pay all this money
Exactly.
to watch one anime where other...
If you provide a good enough service, people will pay money rather than watching it illegally due to the convenience. Why do you think Netflix does so well when you can literally just type in TV show watch free on Google and then you get 13 separate fucking search hits that shows up where you can just watch it for free? Because people value and respect the experience that they have on those services. Piracy is a service issue, not due to like people who just wants to watch shit for free. It's that simple.
Websites which are not legal do in fact have a huge catalog when it comes to series not shown on Crunchyroll.
Yep.
I made multiple videos talking about this, but even though it is crashing a lot of these other sites, it's still cool seeing the numbers it is pulling on the legal website Crunchyroll. My oh my, goodness gracious grey balls of fire. Solo Leveling broke so many Crunchyroll records that honestly left me speechless.
That is actually very impressive though. Like Crunchyroll is breaking so many, Solo Leveling is breaking so many records specifically on Crunchyroll, and it's competing with the likes of like Demon Slayer and like One Piece. It is insane.
It broke its own record of surpassing 100,000 likes in only an hour and 20 minutes of its release. And then it broke another record.
Then why this shit not beating Free Rent on my anime list? What is Solo Leveling? Hold up. What is Solo Leveling on my anime list? Solo Leveling my anime list. What's the rating there right now? There's like 8.28. Fair. Yeah. Ranked 306. It's not competing with Free Rent. But then you gotta wonder, right? Then you have to wonder. Free Rent. 9.31. Ranked number 1. But here's the thing. Free Rent isn't beating those records on Crunchyroll. Is Free Rent even in Crunchyroll? I don't even know. This is season 1 too, by the way. Yeah, true. Let's look at season 2. It's not really that different. Rank 25. Way higher though, actually. Way higher. Pretty cool. Way higher. But like, you don't see, like, just to give you like a frame of reference, just because like you beat these ratings on Crunchyroll doesn't really mean that like what am I trying to say? These metrics don't really matter. Everybody values it differently. Like, you don't really see Free Rent like beating those records on Crunchyroll, do you? But does that mean Free Rent is inferior to Solo Leveling? Not really. They're two fundamentally different shows too. You're comparing apples and oranges, right? I think Free Rent watchers and Solo Leveling watchers, there may be an overlap, but I think that a lot of people, the target audience is fundamentally different, and a lot of people, you know, glaze Free Rent for being such an elite anime because of, you know, what it's able to do. Doesn't mean Solo Leveling's bad. Doesn't mean Free Rent is bad. It means that like these ratings is just different target audiences, and at the end of the day, what's a better measure? Absolute viewership on Crunchyroll? I feel like that is a pretty... I feel like absolute viewership on Crunchyroll is a better metric though to gauge like... But what is that gauging? If something is super fucking bad and everyone's clicking onto it just because it's bad and they want to see a train wreck, does that mean it's good? No, right? But in terms of like overall viewership and reach, I guess, Solo Leveling is absolutely killing it. But yeah, anyways, these minimalist ratings and, you know, the viewership stuff like that, none of that shit matters. Just watch whatever you find enjoyable.
of smashing 200,000 likes in 2 hours and 30 minutes, and then it broke another record, smashing over 300,000 likes in 8 hours. Not even half a day and it smashed this record. And currently, at the time of this recording, Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 12 is officially the highest rated episode of all time on Crunchyroll, with over 455,000 likes.
And at the time of this recording right now, yeah, it hits over 500k likes. Wow, this shit is massively appealing to a lot of people. That's great. I'm so happy that, like, and it's not, and I'm happy because it's a webtoon show that got a proper adaptation that's popping off. Because there's so many Korean webtoon manhwa shows that just gotten such a shit treatment. Like, look at Tower of God, look at God of High School, look at so many of these other topics that you probably don't even fucking know of, right? That don't. But it's just so sad looking at the, you know, the Korean adaptations. And there's a lot of fault I think that lies within Korea too. It's a very complex issue. This isn't just Japan just being like, oh, Korean manhwa, we're going to disrespect it because of nationalism. No, that's not what's happening. A lot of fault lies within Korea's side of them cheaping out. And Debate is coming out this coming spring. Oh no. Debate, oh god, that's gonna be interesting. But hey, at least we have Solo Leveling. At least they did it amazing with Solo Leveling. And not just amazing, they did it peak with Solo Leveling. To hit these type of metrics, to go this viral and mainstream, love to see it.
That is absolutely insane. But I don't think people understand.
It's great, but it might invite more tourists to more toxic fandoms. That's gonna happen no matter what as you grow. I would rather have something pop off, of course, with the you know, monkeys and toxic fandoms showing up. That's just inevitable. That's just what happens when you get big. I'd rather have that than have something so small and niche where no one even knows what the hell's going on. Debate is not Korean. It is Korean. It's Korean and it isn't Korean. The author is Korean. I think it's still webtoon, but they operate in America, right? I think that's what's happening.
How insane that is. The anime has only been out for 1 year, and it is already doing these extraordinary numbers. It usually takes a couple of years for an anime to truly pop off and then break those records, but Solo Leveling has well and truly gone above and beyond what anyone expected it to do.
True.
And seeing all the positivity and great reviews online is truly a reflection of the love.
Who cares? Yo, show me the 1-star ratings. That's what I want to read.
That people have not just for the anime, but for the source material, the manhwa. So while I am very happy to see all this praise and love, Solo Leveling does not deserve the hate.
No, I don't agree with this. I do not agree with this. You really think... So a lot of people have this notion. It helps that it has low competition. Season 1 got completely overshadowed by Free Run. I genuinely believe that if there are good animes airing, no matter what other animes are also airing at that time, it will get the recognition. You really think that the anime audience is all the same? To you, you may think all the numbers are just the same, but to me, I view them as different parts of demographics. A lot of Free Run enjoyers would never watch Solo Leveling. A lot of Solo Leveling enjoyers would never watch Free Run. Completely separate markets, even though there is an overlap. And I truly believe that no matter what, if there are amazing animes standalone, those animes will perform well. If an anime is performing bad, it doesn't mean that it's doing bad because there's other better animes happening. It is true that people have a finite amount of time to watch anime, and if there's like 10 bangers and they can only watch 5, then the other 5 will be the sacrifice. Absolutely agree with that. But I don't believe that's I don't think that's significant enough to actually take away significant viewership. If an anime is good, it will get recognition no matter what other competition exists in that season, is my belief.
Despite it gaining over 455,000 likes and counting, it still has 2.2 thousand dislikes. But why do people dislike the anime?
Because their favorite show is not getting glazed and something that they're not watching is getting glazed, and they feel like they're missing out on something, so they try to just hate on it because they're just engaging in tribalism, and their entire personality is most likely a battle shonen profile of, like, let's say One Piece or Hunter x Hunter or some other show. And rather than trying to celebrate each other's success, they wage in tribalism, saying if you're not with us or against us. It's just children behavior.
Episode when there was so much praise. Honestly, mate, I was very curious to see what people had issues with regarding Solo Leveling. Well, let's read some of these hate comments.
Let's go!
Doesn't hold a candle to Goku versus Jiren.
And to have a profile picture that is Kurisu hurts me. Mr. Muffin, your profile picture is from an anime that is such a big brain anime, Steins Gate, that I would think that the average enjoyer of Steins Gate was better than this, but it's clearly not the case, huh? Clearly you're just another retard, huh?
Is it me, or the glaze in the anime community and the recency bias is heavy as hell? Now look, it's good, but y'all acting like the second coming. So overrated.
Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man profile picture. Chainsaw Man profile picture. Salty Chainsaw Man fans.
So overrated. Don't get
Cat.
me wrong. I love Solo Leveling. I'm an OG fan. The animation is no.
Oh my god. And then you have infighting within our own community. This is a source material elitist that denounces the anime. Okay, let's go. Oh my fucking god.
Nowhere near perfect. They messed.
Nowhere near perfect? They messed up. What got messed up? Did you even see the fucking fight? This is probably one of those retards that have no understanding of what production value is. No understanding that there are key episodes, key moments that are storyboarded to have priority and then to have the best talent show up. Maybe their favorite moments, again, it's the Goto versus Sung Jin-woo part again, where people don't have the understanding that, hey, this is not a priority episode. Therefore, it's not gonna get that same level of, animation quality in the other key episodes like Baraka, Baran, Tusk, or let's say Beru fight, right? So it's just idiots that don't understand. They compare a separate medium of fucking manhwa to anime and compare single frames and say, see, manhwa better when the manhwa is a single frame versus the anime, which are many frames connected to create a fucking animation.
The glaze is forced. To be honest, the anime is overrated. Imagine they followed the manga, not the light novel.
Again, more infighting within the source material elitists. Oh, the manhwa, not the light novel. Because there's two separate fucking versions of, the source material.
Doesn't even beat Demon Slayer season.
You photable, baby. Demon Slayer monkeys.
1. Go to High School Guard if you want action.
Oh god. God of High School? You know what, Based? I haven't seen it, but you know what? This is such a unique comment. This is such a unique comment because they're glazing God of High School right now. You know what? I might just say Based. Fuck it.
Yeah, honestly, this is probably one of the worst.
Raw ketchup in his profile picture is a tomato. That's kind of funny.
Fights in Solo Leveling. There was like a few good bits.
Oh, come on. If you said this about the Goto versus Jinmu fight, I might be willing to agree with you. But you're really gonna sit here after watching episode 12, Beru versus Jinmu, and say it's one of the worst fights? That is just objectively, that's just rage baiting. It's just intellectual dishonesty. This is just rage baiting.
Bits, and that was it. Episode wasn't that special. Even though they do an amazing job in animation, they do the worst in Jinwoo's character design and some iconic panels like him getting punched or standing against the ant.
This is a very unique comment because they acknowledge the amazing animation, but they're pissed off at their favorite key moments. Like, for example, Jinmu catching Goto's hand, and we did a panel by panel comparison. In that regards, I might agree.
Doesn't beat Asta and Yami versus the Dark Triad lead.
I think I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
Why am I disappointed? I feel like the fight and Solo Leveling aren't comparable, not even close.
Hey, Chinese! Oh, that's Black Clover comparison. Okay, hey, we got Donghua, baby. We got Chinese anime.
Just overhyped. Bro, this is the definition of recent.
Honestly, the recent Super Cube animation was really amazing. The Super Cube trailer was fucking crazy. Absolutely. But it doesn't mean the Solo Leveling animation is bad. Not even close? That's ridiculous. Come on now.
Bro, this is the definition of recency bias. It was good, don't get me wrong, but it was mostly just flashy fights.
I would like to wait a year and see if people feel the same way. If people still feel the same way about this.
ReZero animation on that one fight was better, to be honest.
As someone with almost 400 videos of ReZero in the playlist, to have a Subaru profile picture and then have a Joker name. Oh, this guy thinks he's edgy. Vincent Chansard Glaze. The Vincent Chansard scene was insane, though. What are we comparing? Episode 12 versus Vincent Chansard scene? At that point, it becomes subjective, right? Because, like, there is an argument to be made that the Vincent Chansard Garfield versus Kurgan fight was better than Jinwoo versus Beru. I think you could make that argument because at a certain point, because here's the way that I see it, and I saw a tweet from what's their name? Let's go to Twitter. Ivan Kel. There's a animator Ivakoi. Yeah, Ivakoi. And where is their tweet? Where is their tweet? This is the one. Evakoi. This is a notable person in the industry that knows what they're talking about. Animation director for UKIM, 2D animator for Moonwell Games, and you can look at their other projects that they've worked on. And they say, I wish people would just enjoy animation instead of arguing which one is better animated fight. You don't need to tell everyone how some other animation sucks to prove this one is good. It's subjective. Now, I agree and disagree because here's the thing. I think this applies when you're comparing the Vincent Chansard scenes versus Yoshihiro Kano scenes, right? Those two are so elite that it becomes subjective at that point. But when you're comparing, these scenes to, let's say, fucking Failure Frame, you're comparing Newgate, you're comparing all these other trash isekais that we consume on this channel on a daily basis. We can. That is an objective analysis, right? That's not subjective. Those animations are just garbage. It's not even being animated, right? So I think that this tweet makes sense in the context of this comment, where who am I to say, one was better than the other? They're both so elite that, like, I think I'd be willing to say fair.
Fight was mid, manga was better.
Manga. Manga, baby, not manhua. Manga, baby, I like that.
The red versus blue streaks flying around taken from Boruto, but y'all will say it sucks. Wasn't even.
What? It's taken from Boruto. What is this comment? Hold up. This comment is defending. No. This comment is defending Solo Leveling and Boruto. This is not hating on Solo Leveling. Because they're saying, hey, the inspiration of the blue and the red streaks flying around to portray the speed of Jinwoo versus Beru is taken from Boruto, which I don't think is the case. I don't think animation is fucking originated from, Boruto. But y'all will say, so. I think that this is not hating on Solo Leveling. This guy is just, glazing Solo Leveling and Boruto.
Wasn't even better than any of the big mob psycho fights. I liked the Invincible versus Conquest fights more.
Oh, we're getting American animation getting brought in over here. Again, this one is, again, subjective. Because, again, at a certain level of elite animation, it does become subjective.
The recency bias is crazy. This isn't even top 50, and it's literally One Punch Man Season 1 all over again.
Is One Punch Man Season 1 bad? I haven't seen it, but, like, doesn't it get, like, cherished as one of the best animation ever? Because of the amount of raw talent that was put in it? What are you talking about right now? Isn't it still standing to this point, to this day?
Average storyline. I love peak storyline, but Solo Leveling storyline is not good for me.
This person isn't wrong. Listen, I am not interested in action with average storyline. That's fair because Solo Leveling is that. It's hype action with an average storyline based on the anime content covered so far. Maybe the story gets deeper in the future seasons, but they're not necessarily wrong.
For me, so I am not interested in action.
Like, this person is more like a free run enjoyer, This person is more of like a Steins Gate, or like, you know, they want deep, compelling stories. They want something thought-provoking. Maybe Freedom is not the best example to compare. Maybe like, let's say Madoka or like Vinland Saga, right? 1 out of 10 is a very disingenuous thing, but this person clearly does not care about the fights or the action. It's the wrong target audience, and that's fine. Not everyone has to enjoy Solo Leveling.
With average storytelling, I am not love a action anime with average story, but
Fair.
some people like only action without storytelling, so this is for you.
Yes, and this group is the Battle Shonen Unga Bunga audience, which is, I think, the biggest part of the market share in the anime enjoyers audience, man. I think that Battle Shonen is the biggest because there's so many young men who enjoy Unga Bunga fights. There's also more stupid people than hyper intelligent people who care about deep story writing. For those reasons, many people prefer simple shit with hype action, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And people loved it because Sung Jin Woo is very handsome, cool character.
He's right. Jinwoo is so hot. Every guy wants to be him and every girl wants him. That's why it appeals to both genders, therefore able to reach a new height that Chainsaw Man is not able to reach, because Chainsaw Man appeals to only of the maso guys who wants to get dominated by a mommy, but they're leaving out the women. What this person is saying is absolutely correct so far. That's why Jujutsu Kaisen also does well. Exactly. You have a Gojo Satoru, you got a Nanami, right? You need to have characters that appeals to both genders.
And today people like only action and main character stronger than villain. Not
I prefer strong villains. I like a very compelling, strong villain more than a main character. Today's kid generation only loved action-based anime. I don't think this is limited to today's generation. I think this is just the case of every generation, because this is a human thing. This is not like, oh, Gen X, Gen Millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha specific thing. No, this is what the average human behaves like. Unga Bunga monkeys that are excited about the action.
villain. Not
And if you look at their favorite ones, Berserk, Vagabond, Vinland Saga, Hunter x Hunter, Monster, Death, probably Note, Naruto, Psychopaths, JoJo Adventure, One Piece, Attack on Titan, this person has a healthy mix of action shit layered in with deep writing, right? So again, it makes sense. 1 out of 10 is disingenuous though. I think a 5 or a 6 out of 10 would be more adept for someone like this who's trying to give a really harsh rating to a show that they clearly are not the target audience for.
main character stronger than villain. Not peak. As always, the plot is boring, same as the characters. Solo leveling fans after Jinwoo deepens his voice and fights a random bug. Show is not peak at all and will
Deepens his voice. Deepens his voice and fights a random bug, baby. Oh, the slander is great.
never be One Piece better. I'm sorry, but the manhwa is boring. I feel like these hate comments came from many fans being really hyped and excited, praising this episode and comparing it to other anime fights and deciding whether or not
Yeah, I mean, hey, they made the comparison with, you know, Yuji and Jinwoo looking down at the ant, and, you know, Mahito.
deciding whether or not this is the best action anime in recent years.
Chibi! I do not say this lightly. I think today's episode is Solo Leveling rival Saitama vs. Boros in Season 1 animation. This is One Punch Man. It's taken over a decade to reach this point, but anime is finally starting to consistently reach those levels more often than not. That's a helpful, you know, positive comment.
I have seen posts comparing Solo Leveling to JJK, One Punch Man, One Piece, Demon Slayer, and I do feel like fans of those series are like, oi, what the heck is going on here, mate? The episode was really average compared to Dragon Ball Daima.
Oh, come on. No. No, that's so disingenuous. Dragon Ball Daima, brother? Then again, I haven't seen the hyped scenes of Dragon Ball Daima. I know that the future episodes, like, we dropped that shit after episode 3 because no one cared about it in my audience, but I have seen images and clips here of different forms being released, but did the animation quality actually get that good? There's no way. This is trolling. This is trolling.
Daima. And the hate comments also just come from people just hating for the sake of hating. But mate, despite all of the hate, these are nothing more than a small vocal minority, as the overwhelming majority of people have praised this episode. Peak. The newest Solo Leveling episode was straight up peak. The animation, the fights, the adaptation, everything was top tier. This comment and many other comments more or less sum up my overall feelings on Solo Leveling. I think this episode was a 10 out of 10. Best episode so far. Visually dazzling. And I cannot wait for the finale of this season. But tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of it?
That's pretty much my conclusion too, that it's a fucking hype ass episode. To me, the best fight, and again, these are very subjective things, I think that the conclusion of the Baran versus Jinmu fight was better. I love the cinematic way of the rain going down and Esil creating an opening after looking at Jinmu in the most coolest way, and then Jinmu uppercutting, and then boom, beam of light shooting into the sky, sunlight appearing as Jinmu's sitting down as the fight is over. Man, that shit was fucking crazy. Doesn't mean the Beru fight's inferior. It's just like personally at the conclusion of the Baran fight was better than the conclusion of the Beru fight for me. But in overall, just the entire fight scene, the Beru fight was extremely hype. And that's pretty much it. Just a bunch of disingenuous people who were trying to rage bait combined with people engaging in tribalism from different fandoms because their favorite show is not getting the attention that they want. And they feel like, oh no, my favorite show is not being talked about, but Solo Leveling is. I feel bad. I'm going to write a mean comment about it. It's just that simple. At the end of the day, learn that you can cherish more than one thing. I love One Piece, I love Soul Leveling, I love Demon Slayer, and I wouldn't compare each of the three to try to fucking pick a fight. So many stupid people out there, though, can only like one thing and base their entire personality on that. Please go check out A Boy Do Reviews channel. The video link is there. Give it a like if you did. Subscribe to his channel, and see you next time.